Brittany and welcome back to my channel. So if you're wondering why the background is different, it's because Matt and I are currently at our mother-in-law's house. Um, and we came down here to celebrate the new year, which by the time you guys see this video, it will be into the new year. So happy new year. My name is Brittany and I make videos about books and autism here on this channel, so if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, subscribe, and all of my links if you want to follow me on social media or if you'd like to check out my husband's craft store. All of the links for all of that information is below, so you can check it out. Okay, so today's video is going to be a sort of mishmash of Bookmas Day 7 and Day 8. I'm going to combine them because why not? Productivity, right? So, I'm going to be talking about today some of my favorite bookish accessories, as well as my most anticipated reads that are coming out in 2020. So, so the first sort of bookish accessories that I want to talk about are good quality bookmarks. So I feel like every person who reads should really have a good quality bookmark. It drives me crazy when I see people dog-earing their pages or using just random scraps of paper, receipts and things as bookmarks. It drives me bonkers. Like, because I feel like our books deserve more respect than that. Like, if you're going to use, it's a pet peeve of mine. If you're going to use a bookmark, use a proper bookmark. Now, shameless plug for my husband. He does make really, really good quality bookmarks. They're double-sided and they're very, very, they're a lot better quality than what you'll find in the store, and they last a really long time. I still have one that he made for me probably about 5 years ago. So they really, really do last, and it's not crinkled or anything. Like, they really last a long time, and they don't damage easily. Um, so if that's something that you would be interested in, his links are down below. He charges about $5 a piece, which is about the same price as what you would buy them for at any, bookstore. Um, but the ones that he makes are a lot better quality than the ones that you'll find in the bookstore. So if that's something you're interested in, you can check that out down below. Now, but no matter where you get them from, using a really good quality bookmark, I think, is really important. I think it also, encourages you to read. If you're going out and spending money on a bookmark, I feel like it's going to encourage more reading. At least it does for me. So, the next bookish accessory that I think every bookworm should have is a book light. I find at nighttime, if I want to read and my husband is, he's wants to go to sleep and I want to read, or he wants to read and I want to go to sleep, or whatever, we each have a really nice clip-on book light. I think those are really important for, not only not keeping your partner awake, but also just at night, it's a lot easier, I find, to use these clip-on book lights instead of, using the like using a flashlight to try to read, because I find it very awkward. So I think that a clip-on book light is much, much, much easier. Okay, so the third bookish accessory that I want to talk to you guys about are reading socks. So I feel like when you're going to read, at least for me, I like to set the mood. I like to get myself a hot drink. I like to curl up with my weighted blanket. And I like to, yes, I got a weighted blanket for Christmas. I love it. It's amazing. I will definitely be showing it in future videos. But my husband got one too, and he loves his. For a long time he was like, I don't need a weighted blanket, but then he got one and now he loves it. Um but anyway, reading socks. So I think they're really important, just for setting the mood. I like to put on my reading socks. They're nice and fuzzy and wonderful on my feet. And I like to curl up with my weighted blanket and a hot drink and just kind of lose myself in a good book. So I think setting the mood and going to all that effort to, really set the mood for myself really encourages me to read as well, rather than, picking up my phone and, throwing on Netflix or playing a game or, whatever, what have you, texting people, whatever it might be. It encourages me to read instead. And the last sort of bookish accessory that I want to talk to you guys about is a book sleeve. So I think this is something that every person should have, a protective book sleeve. Uh, the best ones that I have seen, okay, in terms of book sleeves, are, again, the ones that my husband makes. He makes really good quality book sleeves, customized to you, um, or the book bestie, which you can buy at Kohl's or Chapters. They're a lot more expensive than the ones that my husband makes, but I think, so if you're on a budget, but I think either way, having a really good quality book sleeve is really important because it protects your book when you're out and about, so that you're not having to worry about your book getting ruined. And my husband was really busy with orders, so so we just went and bought two book sleeves at Chapters. Um, but he was actually making one for a client, but he just didn't have time to make one for me. Um, so we went and bought a couple, and we kind of then decorated them up to what we wanted. But yeah, I think it's really important to have a really nice, good quality book sleeve that will protect your book when you're out and about. I've seen so many people, they're out and about, they have their book, and they'll just, even like in the car, they'll just throw their book on the back seat, or even worse, on the floor. Um, and it's just like, you're gonna ruin your book that way. At least if it's in a book sleeve, it's protected, so you're not going to ruin it. And I think that's about it for bookish accessories. Those are my favorites. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorites are. Um, and I think now we'll get into my most anticipated releases of 2020. So, my first most anticipated read of 2020 is actually a book that doesn't even have a title yet. Um, and as far as I know, as far as I know, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, it's due to be released sometime this year. And that is the fourth book in the An Ember in the Ashes trilogy by Sabati here. I've read the first three books, and I am so excited for the fourth one. I love this series with all my heart. It's amazing. I highly recommend it, and I am just, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the fourth one. I need to know what happens. And I'm really, really, really excited for the fourth book to come out. Like, as soon as it comes out, I'm going to buy it. Like, I'm so excited. And, sorry, I have a list of books on my phone here, for my 2020 anticipated releases, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just looking at the list, so that I don't forget any, because my memory hasn't been that great lately, so I'm looking at the list to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, the next book that is on my most anticipated releases of 2020 list is a book that I'm probably not even going to read. Now, I know this might sound a little funny, but it's anticipated in the sense that I think my husband is going to love it. And I think he's really going to enjoy it. He loves Sarah J. Maas's writing. Um, I have heard good and bad things about her writing. I haven't actually read anything by her. So I haven't really been able to, come to my own conclusions about, what I personally feel about her writing. But in either case, the next one of the books that is coming out by her in 2020 is The House of Earth and Blood, and this is the first book in a new series called Crescent City. And yeah, I just think it's really going to be good. My husband really likes Sarah J. Maas, so I think he would probably really enjoy this. Okay, next up on my most anticipated releases of 2020 is A Heart So Fierce and Broken. This is the second book in the Cursebreakers series, and I'm excited for it. The cover reminds me a lot of A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I'm excited for it. I really I've been wanting to get into this series. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, so I'm very excited. I really do want to read it, and I just I'm excited for the second book to come out. I think once I read the first book, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love this series. Like, I'm pretty sure I've read the synopsises for the books, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to love them. So I'm very excited for them. Okay, so the next book on my list is The Queen's Assassin by Melissa De La Cruz. I'm really, really excited for this. I've heard that this is a new series. It's going to be a duology. And I've liked some other books by Melissa. So I'm pretty excited for this. Apparently, all I know about it is that there is assassins and forbidden romance and like royalty corruption, which are all things that I absolutely love in a fantasy novel. So I'm excited, and plus that cover looks amazing. The next book on my list is Ember Queen by Laura Sebastian. This is going to be the conclusion to the series that started with Ash Princess, which I have yet to read, but I love the cover of it, and I am really excited to start it. Um, so, but I think I'm really, really going to enjoy this series, and so I'm already excited for the final book to come out, even before I've read the first one. Like, I really think I'm going to enjoy this series. Okay, the next book on my list is Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the sequel to Aurora Rising, which I again haven't had the pleasure of reading yet, but I really do want to. I'm getting I get very like Skyward type vibes from the covers of these, so I think I'm really going to enjoy them when I eventually do pick them up. Um, I've read the synopsis, and I think it's something that I would really enjoy. I'm not usually a big sci-fi person. Fantasy is like 99% of what I read, but the occasional sci-fi or mystery I will pick up, and I think this is going to be one of those. Okay, and last but not least, the last book on my most anticipated releases for 2020 is called The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. Um, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. But I'm gonna say Numenoforna because that's just how I think it might be pronounced. I think. I don't know. Anyway, Numenoforna. Um, so it relates it to Children of Blood and Bone, which I have at home, and I am so excited to start reading. It is definitely going to be on my January TBR. Um, and yeah, um, it says it's an irresistible fantasy novel set in West Africa, which I think is really cool. I love fantasy novels that are set either in either like set in real places or set in worlds that are based on like real places, like in the sense of how um Lee Bardugo's Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom were set very kind of loosely on Imperial Russia. I thought that was really, really cool. And I really, really enjoy those kinds of fantasy novels. I find it brings something to the fantasy world um, that I just really enjoy. It brings a quality to it that I really enjoy. So, and if you're wondering, just to be clear, yes, I do have dark circles under my eyes. I haven't been sleeping all that great, so please just try to ignore those as best as you can. Okay, and yeah, I think I'm really going to enjoy this. I think it's going to be a really, really good and important fantasy read. Um, not just, I mean, I know people, you say it's important and people automatically think you're thinking of the representation. Yes, of course representation is important, but also representation of all people, including straight white male people, is also important. Like representation of all people, regardless of color or sexuality or gender or disability. And I know what it's like as an autistic person to be a member of a minority in terms of, having a disability. But um, I guess what I'm trying to say is that the representation is not the only reason why I think this book is going to be important. I think this book is going to be majorly important because of the writing and the story that it's going to tell. I think it's going to be an incredible story, and I think it's going to be one that I think everybody should read. So, yeah, I think it's going to be really wonderful. Sorry if I didn't really explain that very well. I didn't mean to offend anybody. I was trying to, sometimes the words from my head to my mouth don't come out exactly the way they should right off. So sorry if anyone misunderstood what I was trying to say there. Okay. Yeah. And I think that's it. I think that's going to be about it um, for my most anticipated releases of 2020. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your most anticipated fantasy releases are for 2020 and why. And, uh, and let me know what your favorite bookish accessories to use are down below. I'd be really interested to hear and find out. Okay, guys, I will see you all next time. And again, wasn't trying to offend anybody with that last bit. It didn't come out right at first. Okay, I will see you all next time. Alright, guys, bye.